Hello, excuse my grubby mirror that you're looking at me in. I'm gonna do a chatty kind of get ready with me, except not chatty because I'm talking about one specific thing today. I'm talking to you about creators that inspire me, because I've talked about inspiration before, I've talked about motivation before, but I don't think I've actually listed YouTubers and illustrators and makeup artists and just cool people that I adore who inspire me. So I'm gonna get ready and we're just gonna chat about that. I hope you're done with that. By the way, I am in no way an expert with makeup. I just do it because I like to, not because I'm particularly good at it or because I know what I'm doing. Just like to do it, if you give a shit. I'm starting with a primer because I just need to use it up now. I don't really see the difference, but I hate wasting money. So anyway, the first creator that I really want to talk about is Frannerd. The reason I'm such a big fan of Frannerd is because when I started my YouTube channel, my initial thought was, God, wouldn't it be so cool if there were other people on the internet making videos about illustration? Wouldn't that be just amazing? Little did I know that Fran was doing that. Fran has been on the internet for quite a while. She is an illustrator from Chile who lived in Berlin, then the UK, and now she's moving to New York. So she is just my dream person. Like, if I could be like anyone, I would want to be like Fran, because she's so motivated, she's so hardworking, and she travels like a lot, which is my dream. So she's just amazing. I adore Fran. I fucking adore Fran. Where is my coffee? How do I start this without coffee? Give me a second. So as I was saying, Fran is incredible. One thing that I adore about her particularly is her love for self-motivated projects. Being in the position that I'm in right now with moving and getting started with illustration as like a full-time thing once I'm in the US, it is so cool to see people that just do what they love rather than feeling like they have to go to an agency or they have to not so much conform, but they have to, compromise their dreams. Fran has always been the sort of person, from my experience of watching her videos for the last few years, that doesn't compromise. Like, if she wants something to work, she will make it work. She will work her fucking ass off to make something work, and I find that so incredible. And she's very honest too with like her mental health and just everything. I cannot implore you enough to support her in what she does, especially on Patreon, because that is just where she is at her best, I think. And that's potentially very biased because I am a patron of hers, but yes, completely, utterly adore Fran. She's amazing. Next person on my list is not someone who is unknown to YouTube. In fact, I would just dare say he is extremely known to YouTube, and it's Bertie Gilbert. If you have no idea who I'm talking about, Bertie Gilbert is a filmmaker who is based on YouTube. He's well known, especially in the UK, I think. And my favourite thing that he posted recently was that he reckons he looks like Arnold's granddad in Hey Arnold. So if you're curious, I highly recommend checking him out. I only discovered Bertie Gilbert a couple of years ago, and at the time, I wasn't amazed by him, if I'm being completely honest. The reason that I added him to this list is because nowadays I really appreciate what he's doing on the internet. So Bertie has been known to make short films and put them on YouTube, and he has used a variety of his friends in these films, and these are friends that a lot of the internet knows, like Dirty Clark, so Dottalottle, and Savannah Brown, and Jack Howard, and people like that. And they are all very well known and very good at what they do. And I'm a fan of a few of those people, particularly Bertie. It's kind of accidentally how Justice and I met, but I will go into that another time. But with Bertie, he just seems to be a lot more, I don't know, I don't want to say the word raw because that sounds really cheesy, but he's giving himself like room to grow on YouTube, and I really appreciate that with people, because one thing that I've noticed with people on YouTube is they either sort of tend to stick in their own box of what they've been making for the last 2 years, hello, or they do this whole rebrand thing and then like kind of reinvent themselves. And with Bertie, it's not like that. He's just doing like a natural progression, because he started out on YouTube like a lot of us did, quite young, and then he's just sort of gone into this whole new version of himself. He's like, you know what, I'm in my early 20s now, this is the sort of stuff I want to start making, so I'm just gonna start making it. And I love that. I really appreciate people who are like that and who are just honest with their audience. That's another thing I actually love about Fran. She's always 2000% honest with her audience, and you can just tell that she means what she says and that she's very genuine and humble. So I adore that. With Bertie Gilbert specifically, the first thing I watched by him that I actually really enjoyed was Playground, which is a short film. I'm gonna leave all these people in the description, by the way, like don't feel like you have to go hunt them down on your own. I will link pretty much everything below. But yeah, the first thing I watched by him was Playground, and I'm always very apprehensive to watch YouTubers' short films because they're a bit cringe, let's be honest. Sometimes YouTubers make really cringy short films, and I can't get around that. I'm not saying what I do isn't cringy, I am 2000% cringy. Yeah, just watching short films on YouTube hasn't always been something that I am into or am comfortable with. And it's nothing against the people doing it, it's just, it's a new thing, you know. Well, it's not new anymore, but at the time it was a new thing. But with Bertie Gilbert's video, Playground, I loved it. I was honestly like gonna cry. It was so good. And I won't tell you too much about it because I know that when I go to watch something, I hate spoilers. But the summary is this guy goes through a horrible event, and then he runs into these kids and he gets trapped by them, and it's like this Lord of the Flies kind of situation, but not. It's really good. So that was the first thing that made me go, oh my god, this guy is actually really good at what he does, and oh my god, he's so young. And I fell into that whole, oh my god, Bertie Gilbert is amazing complex that I think everyone falls into at some point when you start to watch his work and appreciate it. Another thing that I loved about his videos is he does this sort of like self-checking kind of vlog thing, and he just makes it really fun. Like, he films various things. He edits it all so well, like it's just so beautifully put together. And the thing I specifically love about his videos is they take their time. Like, you're not waiting to see a new video every week from him, because you know that the amount of work he is putting into these videos is not going to take a week. It's going to take longer, and it's totally worth it. Another one of my favorite videos he ever did was about his sister who has a disability. He did a video about her recently-ish, like this year, and it's a follow-up video to an initial video he did about her. And I just thought it was so beautiful the way he spoke to her, and he captured how her life is going now that she's, you know, moved out and she's a bit more independent, and it just, it was so beautiful. I was like in tears. I love seeing people do what they give a shit about, and they do it hard and they do it well. So bloody good. I think I've talked about Bertie Gilbert for at least 5 minutes now, so please watch Bertie Gilbert. Some of his stuff may not be your cup of tea. Some of his stuff may make you a weeping mess at your day job. It's definitely happened to me at least once, so I strongly recommend Bertie Gilbert. Next person and the following person from that person kind of interlinked, and they're not unknown to YouTube. Similar-ish to Bertie Gilbert. The first one is Marie, That's Me. You might not know who that is because she's recently changed her name on YouTube. She was previously Bits and Clips, and I just love her videos. It is really hard to talk when you're shoving concealer on your eyes and under your eyes. Now this is the look. So Marie, That's Me, or formerly known as Bits and Clips. She is very much a mum vlogger, and I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, but hear me out. She is so lovely and so funny, and she just, her kids are so cute. Her kids are so cute, it makes me clucky. I love Marie because she's a very crafty person, like literally craft as in like making stuff, and watching videos that she's done in the past of her kids' birthday parties, it just fills me with joy, like so much joy. So I 100% recommend her. She's so good. She's just so good. Just so good, and she's such a kind person. Like, if you leave a comment, she will almost definitely comment back if she likes what you're saying or if you're contributing to her conversation. And she's just so hardworking, and not gonna lie, her baby, Sadie, is the cutest baby on the internet. I'm putting it out there. She's the cutest baby on the internet. So I strongly advise you to watch Marie That's Me. She's also great on Instagram too. I love her. I love her so much. Following on from Marie That's Me is her friend Kristi, who has a makeup channel called RawBeartyKristi. I checked out Kristi's channel a couple years ago, and I wasn't like amazed by it at the time because I wasn't big on makeup. Clearly that has changed. I also just found that, I don't know, I was a bit out of my depth, and makeup videos generally do that to me. Like, there's a lot of makeup people on the internet, and a lot of them that I'm just like, oh, I can't watch you. You scare me with your cut creases and your translucent powders and all that stuff. Kristi changed my mind about that. She's the first makeup artist that I follow on YouTube, and I cannot recommend her enough, especially if you're curious about makeup. One thing that I noticed about YouTubers who do makeup was that not only were they, you know, using extremely high-priced products, but they were just, it was like they were speaking a different language, almost, because I didn't know what the fuck contouring was. I didn't know what the fuck baking was or anything like that. And you may be hearing these terms and going, yeah, I still do, what the hell? I feel you. Kristi is just very down to earth, very funny, swears a lot, which is always a big win in my books because I swear like a sailor. And she's just, oh, she's so good. She's so good. So if you're curious about makeup, or you want to watch someone turn themselves into like a Halloween terrifying like Pennywise or Guy Fieri, she's your girl. She's so good. I 2000% recommend her. I can't say that enough. She's like the best of the best with makeup. I'm gonna do my eyebrows now. I don't know if I'll be able to talk through this bit. I have to say this because I'm doing my makeup on the internet. I am going to look insane while I do my eyebrows. That's just how it's gonna be. So you've been warned. Eyebrows with nothing else looks crazy. I don't know if you're interested in makeup, but Kristi made me interested in makeup. And I'll be honest, she actually, I know I said I wasn't going to talk while I do my eyebrows, but I just have so much to say about it. It's so good. She's actually someone who has made such an influence on my purchasing of makeup, and not like in the sense that I'm going broke or like that I'm buying really unnecessary products or anything like that. Like, I'm frugal as fuck and she is frugal as fuck, so it's really nice to be watching someone who can like relate to that and is all about drugstore makeup, or you know, like can basically give you various options of the things that are expensive in terms of dupes. And she introduced me to one of my favorite makeup brands. This is not illustration related at all. This is just because I personally have enjoyed watching her videos. She's funny and she has completely motivated me with my love for makeup. She introduced me to this brand, BH Cosmetics, and some of their stuff is just an amazing dupe for things like Anastasia Beverly Hills, such as this brow pencil that I'm using. Apparently this is a great dupe for that, and I'm never going to be able to buy Anastasia Beverly Hills cosmetics because in my mind, if I have enough money to buy her products, then I'm probably going to spend it on something like bills or art supplies, because that's just how I function. So knowing that I'm getting brands that are cheaper and just as good quality is amazing to me, because I'm a frugal bitch. I've said this once, I've said it 1,000 times, and I like knowing that someone is giving me genuinely good recommendations on the internet, and Kristi is 100% that person. Again, she swears a bit, and I love that. I love it so much. And she's based in the US as well. So this is one of the first sort of, aside from Marie, this is one of the first sort of US vloggers that I really got addicted to. Definitely would recommend her, especially if you're getting interested in makeup, or you just like to see people try weird makeup products and just look really funny and just be really funny. She's also someone actually who really motivated me to start keto. I was strongly considering keto before I watched her videos, and then she actually posted a video about it, and oh, so good. I've been on keto for 4 months now, and her video about her husband and her losing weight on keto was such a big motivator. So yeah, if you're interested in keto as well, she does talk about that briefly because she's done it. She's lost 40 pounds on it, and I don't know how much her husband has lost, but they've both lost a lot of weight. I forgot to mention before, this is going to be happening a lot in this video, and I do apologize. Frannerd, Menzies, I'm sorry if I'm saying that so wrong. She is married to an amazing photographer named Ed. I will link him too. I'm a patron for both of them, and I just love them. I just love them so much. Too much. I think I love them too much, to be honest, guys. He's an amazing photographer. He does videos about certain cameras and about shooting in film, and and his zines are so cool too. So I strongly recommend checking him out as well. I meant to mention him when I spoke about Frannerd, but I casually forgot, so sorry Ed, if you ever do happen to watch this. I will link that too. I need coffee now. Can you guess what brand I'm about to use? Only BH Cosmetics, because I'm obsessed, thanks to RawBeartyKristi. The next person that I am, I think, fairly obsessed with, like, I tend to do cults on Instagram a lot of people that I'm following. This is gonna look crazy, by the way, but it'll be fine, trust me. Yeah, I tend to go through my Instagram a lot and like look at who I'm following and just be like, huh, when did I stop following that person? Why do I follow them now? Like, I don't remember what motivated me to follow that person, and I will go through my Instagram and just be like, huh, when did I stop following Kylie Jenner? Things like that. Like, I'll go through phases where I'm like, I need to be following more people on Instagram, and then I'll go through my Instagram feed and I'll be like, I need to stop following so many people on Instagram. But one person who has remained followed, and I think I will follow until the day I die on Instagram, is Lowery. I might be saying that wrong, it might be Michael Lowery. I don't know. I'm Australian, it's okay, I can mispronounce things, right? Like pergola instead of pergola, and Adidas instead of Adidas. That's fine, right? Mike is an illustrator from, I want to say he's from the US, I could be wrong, but he travels a lot, and his illustrations and his sketchbooks are incredible. So incredible. He's so funny. He's currently doing a series of videos on Instagram where he'll be standing somewhere with a sketchbook drawing, and he'll be like on a plane, and he will like say, always drawing or something like that, and he's just standing there in the middle of a plane, or like, he's just so good. He's so good. And his sketchbooks are illustrations that are informative and funny and so cute. And I love the fact that he uses markers, and that like you can watch him do a time lapse and it's just like completely, totally mesmerizing to watch. So I find him so motivating in terms of like sketchbook goals because I've just filled a sketchbook for the first time in like years, and watching his stuff, especially on Instagram, is so motivating for me to keep a sketchbook because he just does like flip throughs of them and he's always drawing them, and I love it. I fucking love it. If you're curious about seeing someone keep a sketchbook, and it doesn't have to be like amazing, like watching someone draw like Leonardo da Vinci, I highly recommend him. His illustrations are factual and also funny, so I strongly recommend him. I strongly recommend him. The next person is also another illustrator on Instagram. His name is Vincent, and you might know him already. He's quite well known, and I just think he's brilliant. He's not just an illustrator, he actually runs a shop, I think, and he does like inventory and things like that. And I just find him so good to watch. He recently started doing more Instagram stories where he actually talks to the camera, and I did not realize how much of a northern accent he has. And he's actually quite funny when you watch him. So if you're interested, or if you like illustrations of foxes or Forrest Gump, or just really cute but like stylish illustrations, I highly recommend him. He talks a lot about his process, especially on Instagram. He does have a Facebook page as well, which I follow, but honestly, I don't really connect with many creators on Facebook. I actually recently deleted my own Facebook page because I just felt like I didn't enjoy it and it was too much work. Like, it wasn't too much work, I just wasn't putting any work into it. So I was like posting whatever I put on Instagram to Facebook. That was all I did. The next person is not an illustrator. He is an Australian comedian from New South Wales. His name is Butterfield. He's getting quite popular and I am so happy for him. I love him. Again, big on the swearing, and he's Australian, so it's totally okay, guys. Like, we're supposed to swear, right? I found him, how did I find him? I think Justice actually found him. And you might know him from a Facebook video that went kind of viral. It was it? Which one was it? Was it like reasons not to go to Australia or something like that? I don't know. But he's so funny. He's so funny, and he knows his shit. Like, he doesn't judge anyone, but also he does. In a funny way. Like, it's meant to be comedic. It's not like him being offensive, you know, like how there's offensive humor and how there's offensive humor but you know it's offensive humor. I don't think that makes any sense, but you know what I mean. He's really good at making something that you wouldn't laugh at funny. And I just love his videos. I love seeing him rant, and just he'll just like be standing in his lounge room 1 minute and then he'll be like standing in his kitchen yelling about the same thing. Like, he just changes scenery so quickly and it's just great. He does videos about things like veganism and feminism, and like, if you're someone who is easily triggered, don't watch him. I'm just gonna say that right now, just don't watch him. There's a lot of stuff that Isaac does that I'm sure people would deem to be offensive. Personally, I don't find any of it offensive, but you have been warned in case you do find certain things offensive. Like, he is an offensive comedian. That's his whole thing. So now you're aware. Go check him out, and if he's not your cup of tea, just don't watch him again. Next person. Oh, I'm sure I've spoken about this guy before. Dan Berry. Dan Berry is a comic artist and a teacher of comics. From the UK. He also has this incredible podcast called Make It Then Tell Everybody. I think I last mentioned him in the Know Your Shit video that I did recently. His stuff, like, I have one of his comics and it is beautiful. Like, it reminds me so much of Quentin Blake, but also just, I don't know how else to explain it. It's kind of like Quentin Blake, but like a modern version of Quentin Blake, even though Quentin Blake is still technically modern. I don't know. He's just so good at what he does, and I love his podcast. So Make It Then Tell Everybody is like a staple among the podcasts that I listen to, because I don't listen to many podcasts at all. I actually find podcasts a bit of a struggle because I like music more. Fun fact. When I first started getting curious about makeup, my mum, I was like 12, my mum was like, maybe we shouldn't buy you like mascara yet, that might be a bit intense. Let's get you to a spa and tint your eyelashes. It was such a weird experience getting your eyelashes tinted at 12. And like, I just remember, you know, the beauticians being like, oh my god, your eyelashes are so beautifully long and natural. And then they'd be like, so when are you getting braces? Because I had like jacked up teeth. And it was just such a weird experience. And then when I was 14, I was finally allowed to buy my first mascara. And my mum, like, I appreciate what she was trying to do, because she's, you know, she's been there. And I think she must have just had visions of me, you know, with makeup smeared all over my eyes, because I would have like rubbed my eyes without thinking about it and stuff. But she bought me waterproof mascara as my first mascara. That shit is industrial strength. So like, if you're not familiar with the perils of makeup, waterproof mascara is exactly what it says it is. It is waterproof. It does not come off. It does not budge an inch. And I was like tugging at my eyelashes to try and get this shit off. So thank you, Mum. I appreciate the sentiment, but my god, that was hell. Anyway, back to Dan Berry. Make It Then Tell Everybody is incredible, just incredible. Even if you don't necessarily like the artwork of the person that he's talking to, hearing them talk about their processes and learning something about just the general field of comics and illustration is so motivating, like so motivating. Like half the things that I do now as an illustrator can definitely be attributed to someone that I've heard on Make It Then Tell Everybody. And the best part is, if you really like the work of the person that he's mentioning or talking to, or you like just are interested in their processes or anything, you found someone new. You can go stalk them on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or Tumblr, wherever the fuck they are. And you found a new form of inspiration. Dan Berry is bridging that gap between like aspiring creators and professionals who sit in their, you know, we all sit in our little studios or our apartments or whatever, and we do our work and we do it in a specific way, and we get frustrated and we feel alone. He is completely bridging that gap. He is like making this and this relatable to each other, and I think that is so important. I'm just so passionate about Dan Berry, and I will admit, not everyone that I have listened to on that podcast has inspired me in terms of illustration. Like, I don't look at their work and go, I want to do that, but I want to think like that, or I want to work like that, or I want to whatever. It's so excited about him. I'm so excited because he's got 3 new podcasts that have just come out, and I haven't listened to any of them yet, and I want to listen to them at work, but it's very hard to listen to them at work, so I just have to make time to listen to them. I can't recommend him enough. I would start with episode 1 and just move your way through, because there are a lot, and they're all so good. They're just all so good. They motivate me so much. So yes, please go find Dan Berry. Go build a shrine dedicated to him, bow at his feet, and listen to Make It Then Tell Everybody. So the final person that I want to talk about, if you're based in New York, you will most likely know who this is, but it's Lauren Home, or Home. I think it's Home, it might be Home, I don't know, I'm sorry. She is a, I don't want to say typographist, but she might be a typographist / illustrator from New York. And I discovered her on Tumblr when I was like 18, maybe 17. And she was doing this Tumblr page called Home Sweet Home, or Home Sweet Home, I don't know. And she also had another Tumblr called Daily Dishonesty. And they were both just beautiful type illustrations and things, like as in type lettering. Oh, so good. And she did this post called 22 Thoughts from a 22-year-old, because she recently, or not recently, at the time, she had recently spoken at a conference about being a young creator. That post literally changed my life. Like, I'm not being dramatic when I say that. I still refer to it now, because everyone who is creative goes through like existential crises or just creative crises. We all have crises, or crises. I meant to be saying crises, I'm sure. Anyway, her post, 22 Thoughts from a 22-year-old, it was so relatable, but also it was so inspiring. She talked about how you need to make sure you give yourself a break, how in doing so you will find inspiration from life, which people do not remember a lot, myself included. I get caught up in the cycle, and then I'm like, oh my god, it's Sunday night, I haven't made a video this week, I'm shit, I have no creative motivation whatsoever. It's because I've been sitting in my apartment and sitting at my desk at work for 7 days straight, and I haven't gone out and done anything fun. So with that sort of stuff in mind, her work is extremely inspiring. She is similar to Fran in the sense that she knows what she wants and she fucking works for it, and I admire that so much, and I like to think that I'm doing that too, but let's be honest, I have a very cushy full-time job at the moment, so I know I'm not. And it's very inspiring to see people who are doing that and have gone through the struggle of starting, which I am definitely going to be doing this year, and just seeing them come out the other side of it. You might not necessarily see the ugly, but with Fran especially, you do. You hear about that, and it's good. You do see that horrendous, I'm not quite getting their side with Fran, and you do hear about it too with Lauren. But the thing I like about Lauren is she actually sets like homework for people who follow her on Instagram so that she can share their lettering process. She's very engaged with her audience, and so is Fran actually. I think these two are probably my favorite creators, and it's so good to see people engaging with their audience and doing positive things. And with Lauren especially, you get to see people's typography processes, and not even just like the processes, but like the progress itself, which is really cool. Yeah, so she is a huge motivator for me. Not so much in terms of type anymore, but I still follow her, and she does like fucking amazing murals and things now, and she's got such cool tattoos, and she's a very cool person. So I 2000% once again recommend her. I think my face is done now. I hope you found that somewhat informative. I will say I do watch a lot of the big YouTubers as well. I'm a big fan of Critical, or if you know him as Penguin Zero. I do watch a bit of Zoella. I do watch a bit of Sprinkle of Glitter. The point is, watch whoever the fuck you want. These are just suggestions if you are like me and you like seeing people be creative and give advice and be motivational and exciting and inspiring and fun and cozy and cute. That's the sort of stuff I look for in creators. Something that makes me feel at home and happy and inspired. So, yeah. I'm gonna get on with my day because I have an apartment inspection in a couple days, and as you can see, I desperately need to clean. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative or fun. I don't know if it was fun. Please don't correct me on how I do my makeup because I just don't care. I really don't care. It's just for fun mostly. I will be back next week with a new video. If you would like to see more from me or you would like to support me, please visit my Patreon page, and thank you if you are a patron. It is so exciting to me to have you guys supporting me. It's just the nicest thing in the whole wide world. If you are unfamiliar with Patreon, that is okay. Patreon is a platform where you can donate like $1, so 25 cents a week to support me in doing what I'm doing. It would mean a lot to me if you actually did pledge, because I'm gonna have to close my Etsy shop pretty soon due to my move to Florida, and I'm also not gonna be able to work for like 7 months. So Patreon is kind of gonna be a very big source of income for me. At the moment it's not a very big source of income for me. So if you would be interested in supporting me and seeing things like my sketchbook or getting podcasts or just general updates and seeing these videos a bit earlier, click the link below to my Patreon. 25 cents a week makes such a difference. You have no idea. You have no idea. So there's that. I will leave the link to all my other things below. Thank you for watching. I sincerely appreciate it, and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye. Anyway, so she's just awesome. I don't know. Oh my god, there's so much crap in my eyes. My camera stopped recording because I accidentally pressed a thing. And I'm not saying stuff I don't. Like, I do. Blah, blah. And same with... Oh god, that just hurt so much. Ow. Did just poke my eye. Great. Great content, Chelsea. 11 out of 10.